I'm glad I sang the song
Yeah.
because I think I said it before, but I don't do television so much, so I didn't want to record the song.
Celine Dion is one of the most fascinating and intriguing names in music. With her incredible singing talent, kind acts, and unforgettable style, Dion has left an indelible influence on the world of music and popular culture. However, the mystery surrounding Celine Dion's disappearance continues to captivate fans. The fascinating story of victory, sorrow, and transformation that lies beyond the famous curtain has enchanted followers and audiences across the globe. Come with us as we investigate the life and death of a musical icon who will live on in mythology. It is necessary to understand Celine Dion's ascent to fame before delving into her sad events and what happened to her. There aren't many musicians whose names have had such a worldwide impact as Celine Dion. Her spellbinding voice has enchanted audiences across the globe for more than 3 decades, and she was born on March 30th, 1968, in Charlemagne, Quebec, Canada. Coming from a musically gifted but economically limited family, I was the youngest of 14 children. Both Celine Dion's extraordinary ability and her parents' unfaltering love were on full display as she broke into the music business. Her parents, who were also artists, managed to provide a warm and musical household for their daughter, despite their financial struggles. In the early 1980s, they got together as a vocal quartet and began playing as Dion's family around Canada. This childhood set the stage for Dion's career as a musician. Dion wowed patrons at Le Vieux Baril, her parents' piano bar, when she was only 5 years old, thanks to her incredible voice. It was her mother, Thérèse Tanguay Dion, who saw her potential and penning her debut single, It Was Only a Dream, set her on the road to fame. René Angelil, an esteemed music manager from Quebec, was profoundly captivated by Dion's abilities after receiving a tape of the song from Thérèse. Dion wisely chose to learn English and rebrand herself in order to expand her audience outside the Francophone globe. It was an attempt to cement her position as an international artist. Difficulties prevailed throughout Dion's formative years. Her family instilled in her the principles of persistence and hard work, in an atmosphere filled with love and music despite financial limits and a crowded home. Celine learned early on the value of perseverance from the Dion family's austere way of life. Growing up in the middle of a huge family, without regular privacy or amenities, influenced her eventual value of minimalism. Their will to achieve their goals was unwavering, no matter how difficult the road ahead may have been. Dion's mother, Thérèse, was the one who penned her first song, which piqued René Angelil's interest in her musical abilities. Angelil, seeing Dion's promise, took a huge gamble by mortgaging his home to fund her debut album. Dion's path was greatly impacted by Thérèse's artistic influence and direction, which offered her vital support and counsel. Many of Dion's siblings were also gifted musicians, so they were there for her every step of the way and helped shape her career. Looking back on her difficult childhood, Dion's fortitude, character, and dedication to her art were greatly influenced by her formative years. Thanks to her humble origins, her family's support, and her own will to succeed, Dion was able to build an unmatched work ethic and eventually become a household name. Nevertheless, with this background, how can we characterize the modern Dion? She was nowhere to be found. Find out more by continuing to watch. During her early career, Celine Dion rose to prominence thanks to her natural abilities, her drive, and an influential meeting with René Angelil, who would go on to be her confidant, collaborator, and mentor. Their romance had a significant impact on Dion's career in music, helping her gain fame and fortune on a global scale. A tape of Dion, who was 12 years old at the time, performing a song that her mother had written touched Angelil, a renowned music manager. A turning point in Dion's life came when, upon noticing her exceptional potential, he invited her to an audition. After seeing her sing, Angelil vowed to himself that he would support her talent and guide her career. As evidence of her rising stardom and indisputable brilliance, Dion had already accumulated an outstanding repertoire of 9 French albums and received many Felix Awards by the time she was 18 years old. But Dion and Angelil knew that if she wanted to be a worldwide star, she had to reach more people. Dion took the initiative to learn English and released her first album in the language, Unison, in 1990. She devoted a year to the process. In Dion's musical career, Unison was a watershed event. Released to critical and commercial success, the album featured hit singles like Where Does My Heart Beat Now? Dion's English debut album introduced her to fans outside of her native Quebec and France, setting the stage for her eventual rise to international superstardom. Furthermore, despite early criticism for not supporting her hometown, Dion's triumph at the 1988 Eurovision Song Contest, representing Switzerland with Ne partez pas sans moi, further cemented her position on the world stage. Additionally, her role as the film's theme song composer for the mega-hit Titanic, the Helionic ballad My Heart Will Go On, cemented her place in music history. She received several accolades, including the 1997 Oscar for Best Original Song for this classic tune, which is now one of the best-selling songs of all time. The 1990s were a turning point in Celine Dion's career, during which she achieved heights of worldwide fame never before seen. After her first album in English, Unison, came out, Dion's heavenly voice and ability to sing in a variety of languages catapulted her to fame, and she won over fans all over the globe. Her 1991 duet with Peabo Bryson, which won a Grammy, was included in Disney's Beauty and the Beast and cemented her place in the American music scene. The 1993 album, The Color of My Love, catapulted her to even greater fame, thanks to its eponymous single and other top songs like The Power of Love, which enchanted listeners all over the world. Acclaimed and beloved all around the globe, Celine Dion has reached unprecedented heights in her glittering career because to her hypnotic vocals and deep emotional resonance. Her 1997 smash hit, Titanic, includes the classic ballad My Heart Will Go On, which is among her most famous works. With the help of this song, she shot to superstardom and cemented her place in music history. Among the many honors she has received are 12 World Music Awards, 5 Grammys, 2 Oscars, 7 Billboard Music Awards, and 7. Numerous Dion albums have reached multi-platinum status and remained at the top of the charts for an extensive period. Her star position as a world-renowned musician is further enhanced by the honors bestowed upon her by both the Hollywood Walk of Fame and Canada's Walk of Fame. Dion and Angelil's 1994 engagement announcement, which sparked global fascination, was a symbol of their undying love and devotion for one another. Their following nuptials, which took place in a lavish ceremony at the Notre Dame Basilica in Montreal, won over admirers and insiders in the entertainment business. Angelil was Dion's rock, a mentor, manager, and unwavering source of love and support, and her personal life flourished with her career. Her partnership with Angelil in the early years of her career laid the groundwork for Dion's unprecedented success. In the face of adversity, they rallied behind Dion, strengthening her will and preparing her to become a legendary figure in the history of popular music. The mutually beneficial character of Dion's skill is on full display in this stage of her career. Angelil's unfaltering faith in her talents and the lasting impression of their remarkable collaboration laid the groundwork for her remarkable career. While Dion was at the peak of her stardom, she faced a series of personal challenges that pushed her to her limits and changed her character forever. A lot of bad things happened in Dion's personal life. She went through a lot of emotional upheaval after her husband and manager, René Angelil, was diagnosed with throat cancer in 1999. The fact that Dion left her work to care for Angelil is evidence of her undying dedication. She loved and committed herself to him deeply. At the same time, Dion battled infertility, a personal issue that she later revealed to the world. Dion became an inspiration to many women going through infertility treatments after enduring many rounds of in vitro fertilization. IVF. The birth of her first child, Renee Charles, in 2001 was a victory against tragedy that touched the hearts of people all around the world. In spite of her rising stardom, Dion's personal problems remained a constant over the years. In 2010, Dion went through a miscarriage, adding to her personal anguish, while Angelil's health continued to deteriorate. Later that year, twin sons Nelson and Eddie were joyfully born, thanks to Dion's steadfast hope and perseverance. It was a clear demonstration of her strength and faith when faced with challenges. A complex portrayal of a lady whose identity went beyond her musical talent emerged as Dion rose to worldwide fame, entangled in a web of emotional struggles. Her unfaltering poise allowed her to emerge not just as a theater star, but also as a loving wife and mother. Her unwavering commitment to her family and her courageous battle against her husband's sickness won the hearts of millions across the world. Dion skillfully navigated the challenges of her personal and professional lives, keeping a delicate balance despite the turbulent storms of adversity. Throughout it all, Dion's music was always an authentic representation of her life, speaking to listeners on a very personal level. The ups and downs of life are mirrored in her compositions, which become hymns of perseverance. The unwavering will of Dion shined through as she triumphed over overwhelming odds, motivating and inspiring everyone who heard her tale. Critics and fans alike have weighed in on Dion's musical approach. There are those who feel that her music is overly romantic and follows the mold of pop and soul. According to Rolling Stone's Keith Harris, Dion's emotion isn't subtle or controlled, it's strong and forceful. He implies that she embodies a specific strain of pop sensibility that places an emphasis on exaggerated emotions. Generally speaking, Dion's French-language albums are held in higher esteem because of their perceived depth and variety. Furthermore, critics have noted that her music comes off as impersonal and overproduced due to her apparent lack of engagement in the production process. Even though Dion had some early setbacks, she eventually became more hands-on with the creation of her music, which is especially noticeable in her later albums. Her involvement has been minimal, however, she has made infrequent contributions to the songwriting. Dion eventually responded to prior critiques and asserted her artistic vision by taking a more active part in composing and producing her songs. She stressed her determination to compose music that is authentic to herself and her ideas by expressing a desire to have a larger hand in her endeavors. There have been several impersonations of Dion's accent and stage mannerisms on shows like as Mad TV, Saturday Night Live, South Park, Royal Canadian Air Force, and This Hour Has 22 Minutes, making her a frequent subject of media criticism and parody. Whatever the case may be, Dion has gone on record as saying that she doesn't take the criticism personally and sees it as praise for her fame. Dion showed her capacity to laugh at herself at a New York City concert by inviting Ana Gasteyer, who was famously ridiculed by her on SNL, to join her on stage. In 2005, after Hurricane Katrina hit, Dion broke her rule of not commenting on politics. Tearfully, she voiced her displeasure with the U.S. government's reaction to the disaster and the delay in help delivery to the impacted areas during her visit on Larry King Live. While she does have beliefs, she wants to be clear that her main role is as a singer, not a politician. She also acknowledged the difficulties of publicly speaking out on controversial matters. Despite the fleeting praise, her life was framed by deep sorrows, which she confronted with unfaltering strength and composure. A lovely love tale spanning more than 4 decades came to a close with the death of her cherished spouse, Renee Angelil, on January 14, 2016. Dion showed the depth of her love for Angelil by exposing her anguish openly. In spite of her pain, she showed incredible bravery by going back to her Las Vegas home a month later to celebrate her late husband's life and work. The passing of Dion's mother, Thérèse Tanguay Dion, affectionately known as Maman Dion, in 2020 was another devastating loss that Dion had to face. There was no mistaking the lasting impact that Thérèse had on Dion's career and life. Dion, who was performing that very day, entered the stage despite her obvious sadness. She later said that her mother would have wanted the event to go on anyway. These tragedies profoundly impacted Dion, molding her into the person and artist that she is today. She found refuge in her music, which allowed her to express herself and comforted her devoted audience. Courage and Recovering, both written by Pink, were 2019 singles that chronicled Dion's recovery process. Despite the hardships that have marked her personal journey, Dion's shining achievements shine brightly even now. Celine Dion's legacy is a reflection of her unwavering spirit. She has turned her personal suffering into a global testimony of strength and determination, inspiring countless souls throughout the world. Her accomplishments are a testament to her natural skill, and the way she gracefully overcomes personal challenges is a testament to her strength and bravery. Dion has been an inspiration and a symbol of fortitude throughout her life, with a path that is clearly a combination of victories reaching new heights and sufferings reaching new depths. Notable changes in Dion's appearance, especially her substantial weight reduction, have sparked speculation about her health, which has become a popular subject in recent years. These changes were made obvious after her spouse, Renee Angeli, passed away in 2016. Everyone from fans to journalists to critics was surprised by Dion's slim physique, which led to speculation and worries. Word got around about possible eating problems, stress-related underweight, and underlying health issues. Some said that the constant demands of the entertainment business caused her to alter physically, while others said that she was grieving the loss of her spouse. After the rumors began to circulate, Dion felt obliged to allay the public's fears. In her statement, Dion addressed the accusations directly, providing reassurances regarding her health and revealing that her weight reduction was caused by more than only her loss. A while ago, Dion came clean about his struggles with health. She expressed her passion for ballet as one of the main reasons. She found solace in dance as a way to manage her sadness following her husband's death. The physically difficult art form, which Dion enthusiastically pursued, is renowned for its ability to promote lean muscle development and weight reduction, particularly via consistent practice. Even Celine Dion said that age was to blame for her weight loss. Dion claims that the metabolic rate changes and the loss of muscle mass that accompany aging are the main causes of weight loss. She went on to say that her sense of style, which had become more refined and trend-setting over the years, had also contributed to her changing physique. While dealing with the public's interest in her health, Dion says, "I'm doing this for me. I want to feel strong, beautiful, feminine, and sexy." She continues to concentrate on her artistry and self-improvement. The loss of her spouse has hurt her deeply, but she will not allow herself to be defined by it. Instead, she wants her followers to be strong, resilient, and confident, so she tries to be that herself. The tremendous scrutiny that public personalities, particularly women, endure about their bodies and looks is shown by the rumors surrounding Dion's health. Dion has shown remarkable strength, candor, and independence in her answer, standing solid in her control over her own body. In addition to her musical abilities, she is an inspiration to many because of the strength and dignity with which she overcame personal obstacles. Like past chapters in her life, this one highlights Dion's resilience in the face of hardship, her undying devotion to her fans, and her continuous personal and artistic development. Not only was Celine Dion a successful musician, but she was also an accomplished mother, family champion, and philanthropist. Her selfless dedication to her art is mirrored in her unfaltering devotion to her family and philanthropic work, demonstrating her inherent sensitivity and limitless compassion. The position of mother to Dion's 3 children, Renee, Charles, Nelson, and Eddie, who are twins, is fundamental to her existence. After struggling with infertility, Dion's in vitro fertilization journey to motherhood was a source of immense joy and fulfillment, changing her perspective on life and defining who she is at her core. In her open interviews, Dion discusses her approach to parenting, which centers on creating a safe space where children feel comfortable expressing themselves without fear of judgment. Like her larger campaign for inclusion and freedom of speech, she pushes her children to discover who they are and what they're passionate about. Throughout her life and career, she has never wavered from these principles. As a famous philanthropist, Dion has shown her compassion beyond her own family. Being actively involved in supporting groups that fight cystic fibrosis is a powerful way for Dion to make a difference. This cause is very close to her heart as she lost her niece to the disease. Dion has often shown her commitment to ending suffering and promoting good change in the aftermath of natural catastrophes by using her position and resources to rally support and generate funding for relief operations. In addition to her work with children's hospitals, Dion is actively involved with food banks and works with many charities to improve education and health across the world. Even in her encounters with fans, where she is known for her warmth and friendliness, Dion's generosity reflects her compassionate character, which is driven by real empathy and a sincere desire to help people. Dion continues to seem unfazed by the constant barrage of negative comments directed at her looks. Rejecting conventional beauty standards in favor of her own unique sense of style, she fearlessly embraces her self-image. Her fearless demeanor encourages her admirers to be themselves while simultaneously highlighting her strength and self-assurance. In addition to her incredible musical skill, Dion is known for her unwavering commitment to her family and her generous charitable donations. Dion leaves an everlasting impression on the lives of everyone around her with her acts of compassion, kindness, and tenacity. Based in Laval, Quebec, Canada, Feeling Inc., often spelled Feeling or Lay Productions Feeling Inc., is a management firm for artists. The organization manages the careers of several musicians and was co-owned by Dion and her late husband, René Angelil. Dion also started the Nichols restaurant franchise. She is a co-owner of Schwartz's Restaurant and Le Mirage Golf Club with her late husband. The famous Caesar's Palace nightclub Pure was founded by Dion, Andre Agassi, Steffi Graf, and Shaquille O'Neal. In 1990, Dion took a leap into business ownership by establishing the Nichols franchise. Her focus shifted away from the chain in 1997, though. With the help of Coty, Celine Dion parfums were launched in 2003 by Dion. With the launch of her most recent fragrance, Signature, in September 2011, Celine Dion parfums has been a smashing success, amassing over $850 million in retail sales since its launch, all thanks to an advertising campaign by the New York firm Kraftwerks NYC. In addition, advertising professionals wrote the theme song You and I, which Dion sang as part of an Air Canada commercial campaign in October 2004. Dion expanded her business ventures with the creation of the Celine Dion collection, a range of accessories and handbags. The Bugatti Group's Asian partner, Inni Sedona International, reported that after only 3 releases, the collection had surpassed $10 million in sales. Forbes has highlighted Celine Dion's story as an example of how entrepreneurs may gain confidence in their own abilities through personal motivation. At a press conference for the 2017 debut of her handbag collection, Dion said that her late manager and husband had overseen her career from start to finish. Everything from the concert schedule to the interviews was carefully orchestrated, and Dion just carried it out without a hitch. At the launch, though, she said, "Now, I'm the boss." Ever since then, she has been in charge of her shows, her family, her purses, and everything else that matters to her. With her proclamation, Dion made it clear that she was going to take charge of her profession and her life. Fashion experts have lauded Celine Dion for her impeccable taste in clothing as it has evolved through the years. She was praised by The Guardian as the joyous new queen of fashion for her daring fashion choices. Dion was praised by Harper's Bazaar as the fashion chameleon and the ultimate fashion risk-taker due to her remarkable talent for seamlessly transforming her style. Billboard honored her as a streetwear icon, following her worldwide fashion journey. Along with her incredible voice, Dion's lavish sense of style was praised by Vogue, who proclaimed her one of the most vivid dressers in music. Cardi B might follow in Celine Dion's footsteps as the epitome of Paris Fashion Week, according to Tatler, who also noted Dion's impact as the event's benchmark. Law Roach, a fashion stylist, lavished Dion with compliments, calling her the Queen of Camp and the Queen of Glitter and Sequins. Dion cemented her place in fashion history with her revolutionary reverse tuxedo suit at the 1999 Academy Awards, which Vogue deemed as one of the most controversial ensembles ever. In a similar vein, W Magazine named the garment one of the most iconic of all time. In February 2020, a Project Runway participant claimed to have copied Dion's reverse tuxedo and disappointed viewers with her claim to originality. Vice emphasized how Celine Dion's music had a significant influence on Nigerian society, and how she had become the undisputed queen of Nigerian radio in the 2000s. Her songs was included in commercials and Nollywood films alongside Ramsey Nouah and Genevieve Naji, and she became a radio and TV sensation. When Dion left the Jamaica Jazz and Blues Festival, she had a profound impact, and Billboard covered it thereafter. Art of Music Production CEO Walter Elmore said that Dion was the most costly performer he had ever hired. He said that the festival's prominence was lifted by Dion's appearance, which piqued the interest of big U.S. musicians who were keen to play at future events because of how well produced the concert was. Dion had her debut concert tour in Jamaica in 2012, which resulted in record-breaking crowds and gridlock surrounding the stadium. The impact of Dion's music on Jamaican dancehall clubs has been highlighted by Vice, who looked at how several dancehall singers have covered her songs or transformed her ballads into dancehall hits. In order to satisfy the tastes of dancehall listeners, modern-day musicians covered Dion's songs and add lively guitars, pan flutes, and backbeat shuffles. In a statement shared on her website and social media on January 15, 2022, Dion announced the cancellation of her March and April 2022 concerts in the United States and Canada. The show had to be canceled because Dion suffered from severe and persistent muscle spasms, which made it impossible for him to perform live. Subsequently, on December 8, 2022, Dion revealed that her spasms were caused by stiff person syndrome, an unusual neurological condition. The result was the cancellation of any and all future tour dates. Because Dion's illness was still a problem in May 2023, the other shows were also postponed. Love Again was Dion's first feature film, and she wrote and performed 5 original songs for the soundtrack. April 13, 2023, saw the launch of the debut song Love Again, and May 12, 2023, saw the release of the entire soundtrack. I Am Celine Dion, a documentary on Dion's struggles with stiff person syndrome, was announced to be released by Amazon MGM Studios in January 2024. Along with Whitney Houston and Mariah Carey, Dion has had a profound effect on the vocal techniques of contemporary female pop artists, transforming the genre and popularizing the power ballad. She has been formally recognized as one of the most significant figures in pop music, earning titles such as the Priestess of Pop and the Queen of Pop. Billboard named Dion the best-selling contemporary female artist in history, and Randy Jackson said that Dion's voice, together with Houston's and Carey's, is a symbol of the current day. Notably, her impact can be seen on prominent talent shows like American Idol, where many of the hopefuls try to imitate her manner. Britney Spears, Rihanna, Adele, Josh Groban, and countless more musicians have all named Dion as an idol or a significant musical influence. Beyoncé, Elton John, and Quincy Jones are just a few of the famous music business personalities that have complimented Dion's singing abilities and shown their appreciation for her career. One of Dion's many accomplishments that has cemented her place in music history is her record for most Juno Awards for Album of the Year, which she currently holds according to the Guinness World Record. In spite of this, her continued influence on the industry was brought to light in January 2023 when she was controversially left off of Rolling Stone's list of the 200 best singers of all time. Her incredible success throughout her career has cemented her place as one of the best-selling musicians of all time, with records selling over 200 million copies worldwide. Even though Dion has had a disastrous few years, her voice is still hypnotic and has a global appeal. Her incredible compassion and perseverance are on full display in her narrative, which includes both monumental victories and extremely personal tragedies. The impact of her music and her steadfast dedication to family and charity are felt by people all around the globe. From her modest upbringing in Charlemagne, Quebec, to her meteoric rise to international prominence, Dion's biography is a complex tapestry of triumphs and tragedies. Her genuineness, strength, and extraordinary talent have won over countless fans. As she moves on, one thing is certain: Celine Dion's impact will last, telling a story of strength, perseverance, and the power of music to change lives for years to come. Your attention in seeing this video is much appreciated. If you want to keep up with the latest news and learn more about your favorite stars, click the video that appears on your screen. We will meet there.